Hello there, everyone. Judge Andrew Napolitano here on Judging Freedom. Today is Tuesday, February 15. It's about 3:10 in the afternoon here on the East Coast of the United States. There was a lot of news that came out late Friday evening, and it was a lot of us talked about it yesterday on Monday, and it still hasn't gotten traction in the mainstream news, but it will. And it is the statement filed in United States District Court in the District of Columbia by John Durham. John Durham is the special prosecutor appointed by then Attorney General William Barr, the last Attorney General confirmed by the Senate under former President Donald Trump, whose charge it was to investigate the origins of the Trump-Russia, whatever you want to call it. If you think it was fake, you're going to call it fake news. If you think it was real and somebody should have been indicted, you're going to call it an investigation. But whatever it was, the investigation is being investigated. And on Friday, as many of you know, and this is only being covered by a limited number of venues, Fox is covering it. We're covering it here at Judging Freedom. Newsmax is covering it. Alex Jones is covering it. But the mainstream media is not. The Wall Street Journal is covering it. The New York Post is covering it. But the document that was filed shows that the government is prepared to prove, if necessary, in a case involving a lawyer from Mrs. Clinton's campaign lying to the FBI, that in fact the lawyer and Mrs. Clinton were part of a large conspiracy to use federal government assets to undermine Donald Trump. Okay, what am I talking about? I'm talking about a case in which one of Mrs. Clinton's campaign lawyers went to his friend, the then general counsel of the FBI, and said, I have a lot of evidence showing a connection between Donald Trump, who was a candidate at the time, and the Russian government. And the lawyer for the FBI said, well, you're representing the Clinton campaign. And this fellow, Mike Sussman, said, no, I'm not. Now, there's no tape of what was said. Sussman denies that he said that. The FBI lawyer says he did. That's what he's accused of, lying to the FBI. Just as an aside, in my humble opinion, it should not be a crime to lie to the FBI. Why? Because the FBI is allowed to lie to you. They're not any morally superior. They're not morally superior to us. What kind of a system allows the cops to lie to individual people? But if you lie to the cops, you can get arrested, not for what they're investigating, but for lying to them. It's not right. It should be a level playing field. However, it is the law. It's considered a low-level crime. Nobody goes to jail for more than a year for this. And if you have no prior convictions, you usually don't go to jail at all. However, this fellow, Michael Sussman, has been indicted for denying to an FBI official that he represented the Clinton campaign. In the course of gathering evidence about Sussman in order to prosecute him, Durham, the prosecutor, came up with evidence of a vast, wide-ranging conspiracy involving Jim Comey, the former director of the FBI, Jack Brennan, the former director of Central Intelligence, Mrs. Clinton, Jake Sullivan, now President Biden's national security advisor, then Mrs. Clinton's national security advisor, and Mrs. Clinton herself, as well as others in the Obama administration, to use federal assets, human beings that work for the federal government, to spy on candidate Trump and eventually on President Trump. Now, the question that people have been putting to me in various venues is, can they be indicted? Okay, so the statute of limitations for this type of conspiracy or this type of computer hacking is 5 years. So if it ended with the election of Donald Trump, then no indictment is feasible, because that was more than 5 years ago. That was November of 2016. We're now in February of 2022. Do the math. However, if the conspiracy continued well into the Trump administration and was ongoing for fewer than 5 years ago, then the conspirators can be indicted. That is a decision that'll have to be made by John Durham. So we don't know where this is going to go. If there's no indictments, there'll be political embarrassment and demands for accountability. If there are indictments, there'll be hell to pay. Judge Napolitano, Judging Freedom.